Would you buy Ireland's most haunted house? Because it's for sale again. Loftus Hall has 22 rooms, was built in 1350, and was possibly visited by the devil once. Let me explain. It's 1350, the Black Plague is raging, and you find this beautiful peninsula to build your future home. That's what the Redmond family had decided. So they built Loftus Hall, which at the time was not called Loftus Hall, but anyways, it's called Redmond Hall. Then comes 1666 when Oliver Cromwell removes this beautiful lot from the family, gifting it to the Loftus family, who were planters. And I'm paraphrasing, there's more to that. I will get into that in a YouTube video at a later date, so stay tuned for that. And all is quiet and well until 1766, during a horrific stormy night. A stranger who had commandeered a boat washed up on the shore and asked the family if he could come and stay with them to wait out the storm. They said, okay, sure. I assume. I wasn't there. So, to pass time, they start playing cards, as one does. When Lady Anne Tottenham, the daughter of the Loftus family, dropped a card and bent down to pick it up, and what she saw under the table horrified her. The stranger sitting across from her had cloven feet instead of human feet. So she says to the man, and I quote, "You have a cloven foot." I read that. Once she says that, the man bursts into a ball of flames, screaming in what I can only imagine sounds like one of the wraiths from Lord of the Rings, and flies up through the roof, through the ceiling, like this. And he leaves a destructive hole behind. Before I get into the next bit of the story, this hole, many people have tried restoration projects on them, and most of them have failed. So for all we know, this hole is still there in that house, because I was not able to confirm that at the time of this story. So if you know, let me know in the comments. But after this incident, understandably, Lady Anne goes insane, and her family does what every respectable family does back in this time. They lock her in her room and never let her out again. I'm not saying it's right, I'm just saying it's what they did. And Anne lives there until her death, where she was found in the fetal position, and because of what I assume is rigor mortis, they had to build a special casket to bury her because they couldn't get her body to lay flat. Also, during restoration projects after this, it was discovered that there was fetal remains behind the fireplace that were in Anne's room, and she was the only person who would have stayed in that room. So I wonder what the story was there. Still sad, still how women were treated during this time. But that doesn't end the story of Loftus Hall, because later a priest is called to do an exorcism of the house, and he finds, quote, many demons, and it was put in the newspaper that the priest had visited and done an exorcism on the home. Did it work? No. But let's fast forward to 1900 when Loftus Hall is converted into a convent, and all is going well, but, caveat, 2 nuns die separately in horrific incidents on a back stairwell. Different times, both horrific incidences that were never explained. So the convent was closed down, and it was sold privately to multiple people who have decided to make it a hotel. That has not happened because renovations have usually failed, but ghost hunters have had the opportunity to come through and investigate, specifically Ghost Adventures, Zach Bagans, and I hope Aaron's doing okay. They did an entire paranormal investigation. Other people have heard ghostly whispers. There have been spirit people and cold spots. By the way, Zach, I also have asthma, so we're friends. Anyways, Loftus Hall is now available, as I mentioned, 22 rooms, £4 million, 68 acres and ocean views. Maybe just a couple ghosts or two. I don't know. Go and buy it. So spooky.